Hello and welcome to the first Solent WWE podcast. I'm your host, Baldeep Chahal, aka Bal Venus. With me in the studio, we've got Dirty Don Punt.
Hello, how you all doing?
Nice original name from us. We've got Joe the Jobber.
Fuming. Absolutely fuming about that.
You've had that name for about, 6 months, he's still annoyed about it.
Well, yeah, because it's not true.
Clearly. Thank you, What Culture, for that name. And finally, we've got Jake the Snake. Nice and original.
Hello.
Right, thanks for that, Jake. Right, so just to get everyone to, have a little background information about us.
No, it's the first episode, so...
So they need to know about us. So I'll start, as I'm the host. So my name is Baldeep Chahal. Everyone just calls me Bal because Baldeep's very difficult to say, apparently. Anyway, my favourite wrestler is The Undertaker. No slander on his name will be accepted. And we've got, my favourite match is Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, the first one. I'm sure a lot of people agree because that match is incredible. And then, what was the last thing we were going to...
How you got into wrestling?
How I got into wrestling. One day I was in my dad's room and I flinged on Sky Sports and it was Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. And from there I was like, this shit is incredible.
Very specifically, he was in his dad's room when he did this.
Yeah, it's nice to know where you pick up these
Well, they need
things,
to know. The audience needs to know.
I was wondering where that story was going.
I was in my dad's room.
Right, let's not get off topic. We will go to Jake the Snake first. How did you get into wrestling?
How I got into it? It was just that thing on Saturday, wasn't it? On Saturday, 9 a.m. In UK. So watched that, loved it. It was when the crowd was, everyone was just buzzing, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched that and I just loved.
How old were you when?
7, 8.
What year was that? Like 2000?
2000, yeah. So I was watching it in the peak time.
I was only 3 then.
Favourite wrestler?
Favourite wrestler, Chris Jericho. Just because he's so good as a face, so good as a heel.
I agree.
Amazing in ring, amazing on the mic. He just reinvents himself each time he comes back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Hopefully one day he hears this, but
yeah, maybe.
What's your favourite match then?
Favourite match, a weird one, but Edge versus Mick Foley.
No, I wouldn't say that's a weird one. That's a great.
It's only because I remember that if I look back, that's the first match that sticks out to me. That I thought, wow, that's shock factor. When Edge spears Mick Foley through the burning table.
Yeah.
At that age, that was 11 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
So at that age, I was like, what is this? Like, loved it.
Right. Joe the Jobber looking nice and tired there. Go.
Nice and tired?
Yeah, nice and
I was
tired.
just a bit bored of what you were saying. I'm joking.
Yeah,
Okay, so I don't think there's really anything that got me into WWE. I think it was just everyone watched it at that age. Like, it was just something that happened. Like, it was just natural to watch it. And then I had a break and then got back into it at uni because of, well, basically all of you lot. Well, mainly Dom at the start. So, yeah, that's what got me into it. Nothing specific. In terms of favourite wrestler, like, this is a very unpopular choice.
Everyone tune out.
Okay, favourite of all time would be John Cena, just because I've loved him. Like, when I was younger, I loved him over like such a long period, and I would want to say Roman Reigns now, just because my love for him is more than I ever had for Cena. But I can't say Reigns. I'll say Cena overall.
We've lost so many viewers.
And then favourite match were. I was watching it again earlier. It was Cena versus Punk.
I'm actually fuming. You've stole 2 of mine. I can't believe it.
Right.
And
Cena versus Punk at Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only reason was because at that point, that was when I started to lose interest in wrestling, and it was one of the only matches I remember actually watching and thinking, "Wow, this is insane." Because it was in Chicago, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With
Punk stole the title.
Because obviously he refused to sign a contract, didn't he? And
then he put it in his fridge.
Mr. Vince walked down. John Cena gives
chance.
John Laurinaitis a bloody nice little elbow.
I think for that one, it was a shock factor, wasn't it? Because everybody knew Punk was leaving, so nobody expected him to win.
The atmosphere was just amazing as well. Like, you don't get that anymore ever. Like, the crowds are so dead nowadays.
I think every wrestling fan appreciates that match.
That was insane. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, Dirty Dom.
So obviously, like every kid back in like the 2000s, I watched it when I was like year 6, or like 11 years old. That was nearly 10 years ago now. And then I got back into it. WrestleMania 31 was the time I came back into it. I remember I just saw it on Twitter, I think. I was like, I'm going to stream this. I had no idea who Sting was, and I was like, right, okay.
I had no idea who Sting was.
We've
lost all our viewers.
Because at the time he was WCW.
Cut that out.
I wouldn't have gone into it, and he wasn't in. He never moved to WWE, so I watched that, and then yeah, since then I've been a massive Mark. But
He actually is a Mark guy.
He-
yeah,
big
I
Mark.
genuinely am. Which is
Takes it
quite
to the next
sad.
level.
My favourite wrestler, it would have been Cena, but I'm going to go a bit different. I'm going to go Seth Rollins.
Oh!
Just because he is honestly one of the better men in WWE right now. And I think he has been since his title run in 2015.
All time?
Yeah, because since I've been watching it, his match was against Randy Orton. That's when he cashed in that night. So that's what got me back into it. And since then, I've watched like every Raw and every SmackDown. Favorite match of all time, though, it's got to be. I'm gonna go. You'll find out later why this is, but Kenny Omega
He's
versus
changed on
Okada.
us again.
I'm gonna go the first one just because it was so unique and we'd never seen a match of that caliber ever before. I think that's why it is my favorite match. The second one, equally as good, but the first one just about pips it for me.
Okay. By the way, guys, Dom is doing his dissertation on wrestling. That just shows this guy is dedicated.
Well, you say doing, he hasn't started yet.
Well, he's planning on doing.
So if you do have any thoughts on wrestling, please hit me up on Twitter because I need some good quotes. I'm doing about how kayfabe is affected by social media. So if you have any good ideas, hit me up.
Don't do it, guys. Right. That's enough babble. We're going to go straight into Raw. So let's start with the first segment, which was Elias wanting to fight Roman Reigns for the title. What did you guys make of that matchup?
Why not? I mean, Elias is not really anywhere on the card at the moment. Roman needed a heel to fight later on in the evening. It kind of just made logistical sense since Elias is kind of stuck nowhere, and I don't think anyone wants to see Elias versus Jason Jordan anymore.
I agree.
I would didn't surprise me that much. Like at the moment, Elias is, whether it's good or bad, he gets a good reaction from the crowd. And I think they used him well there because in the match itself, like I will ruin it a little bit, but he put up a really good performance.
Elias.
And even though he lost against Reigns, competing against like the biggest person in the brand and only just coming up short, he could only do good things for Elias. So it's kind of pushed him a bit higher than he was.
You compare that to some of his NXT matches and they are woeful. So whether that's Reigns carrying to a good match or he has actually in fact got better.
I think he's so underrated.
Yeah, I think he has got better over the last year since he got called up.
Jake?
Can I just ask what everyone thinks about the Mr. Raj and Elias?
Oh, horrendous.
It's quite funny.
I didn't like it.
Horrendous.
The Miz trials are bad, but it keeps Miz going while he's not there, which is a good thing. It keeps him relevant. Like Miz is away now filming for
Keeps the Miz relevant.
Yeah, so it keeps the Miz involved in this thing somehow. So then when he comes back, probably just before the Royal Rumble time, they can have that blow-off match if they're going to do it.
I'm not too fast about the Mr. Raj. They're just there, aren't they?
So do you think it benefits Elias or do you think it benefits the Mr. Raj more?
Both of them, because like Dom said, it keeps the Mr. Raj relevant and it gives Elias a bit more substance to his character. What about you?
Okay, yeah. I think it's a bit random, came out of nowhere a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
it's
just
WWE.
it's just to keep the storyline going, isn't it? Because Miz apparently got wiped out by Reigns last week, and that's why he couldn't be there. So it keeps the story going, and it is quite funny seeing Curtis Axel in a neck brace.
Can we do a quick shout out to Miz and just how good he is?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
guys,
he's
we
so
literally love
underrated.
the Miz here.
Carried the brand throughout the last year. I think he's
so
honestly
good.
been, I think, most consistent throughout the whole year. He hasn't been out with injury, suspension, anything like that.
Yeah, mate.
He has been probably the most consistent performer in WWE.
We always say, like, as well, only your casual wrestling fans will hate the Miz because they don't actually
That's
see
what
what
he
he
wants.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot of love for the Miz here. Right, now, Jake, talk to me about Samoa Joe versus Titus O'Neil, briefly.
It carries on the story, doesn't it? I guess from the previous weeks, but it's not really relevant, is it? Samoa Joe deserves to be main event, all up there, and Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
But I think
What is the point in him?
that's
Yeah.
what he's going to do, isn't it? Joe's going to.
Hoorah, hoorah.
What is the point? Him and Apollo Crews. I thought Apollo would become something. Well, not
Nah,
something.
so
his
boring.
character's bland.
He's so
But-
boring.
He's just nothing, is he?
He's one of
just
those-
pointless.
He's one of those NXT. He got really stuck because he never made it to the top of NXT and got called up. But then he's just going to sit in the lower mid card.
Like a Dana Brooke. Too
like,
early.
Yeah, like a Dana Brooke, and maybe you could say it for the other 4 girls that got called up. We obviously we don't know that yet, but it probably is that way they got stuck a bit too. Well, called up, sorry, a bit too soon.
Although Dana Brooke has improved
I agree.
immensely, where Apollo Crews has he improved?
No.
But he was good before though. Dana Brooke was bad before, and now she's
She was
average.
very bad. Now she's.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Apollo Crews was good, but his style is a lot more suited to the indies, I think, than a mainstream audience.
I do like Totus worldwide. That's the only thing. Right.
Whoa, wow.
Right. let's move on to something that I was actually very interested in, and I'm glad it's finally
If you keep slapping
happened.
that table, I'm going to slap you.
Rude. Right. Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. Forget the match. Just talk about Dom first. Talk about the delete.
Long overdue. I'm not sure. Obviously, I guess the court battle's still going on between them and Impact to get the rights. But it seems as though they've won that, and whether they do exactly broken, but he's changed his name to Woken.
I kind of like that.
But yeah, long overdue. I think now that Jeff's out for a while, we'll give Matt a singles run, and I think Bray Wyatt, he's the perfect person. It means Bray can go over Matt, because Matt, he can lose a million times, but it's his gimmick that's going to get him over, not his win-loss ratio.
They could do so much with that. The promos and the weird matches they could do.
That's why it can be so brilliant. And I think when Jeff comes back, it will add a new dynamic. Jeff will come back probably as a singles competitor now, and then he'll eventually join to make the Brother Nero thing again for like more of a bigger pop. Maybe I reckon around SummerSlam next year.
Well, Snake the Jake is wincing over there. Why don't you think it's a good idea?
I think it's too late. They should have done it. Like when he first came, has happened there now. You saw the reaction on Raw.
Yeah, but they didn't have the contract.
Yeah, but the reaction, it was literally 3 people in the crowd in it. There was no broken chant, there was no delete chant, there was nothing. No reaction at all.
And it was a very hot. Oh no, that was SmackDown. Sorry, but it wasn't a hot crowd.
No, it wasn't a
hot crowd.
It wasn't a hot crowd, but you would expect a hot reaction for that, and it didn't. It was a flop.
And you got to think, but he kind of he sat in a turnbuckle and did it. No, he didn't.
It wasn't too obvious. Maybe they're teasing it.
For the first few months when he first came back, everyone was begging him. Everyone was deleting. Everyone was doing this hand signal, everything.
Yeah. Think at Mania when he's walking down that ramp and he does it once, and the crowd,
the whole crowd,
nuts.
We still do it, but we're massive marks.
If you all remember the video of me going absolutely.
If you haven't seen that, guys,
it's on the website as well. It's on the side.
Joe, I know you didn't really follow Broken Matt much, but what did you make of what you've seen about him? Are you interested in it?
Obviously I didn't really know anything about Broken Matt because like that side of wrestling it's never been my thing, and it still isn't really something that I watch a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like from what you lot have said about him, it sounds like that he was a really good character and something that WWE are missing out on. Whether or not Jake's right with it being too late or not, I can see where Jake's coming from, because if you're going to put something like that in, you do it whilst it's still hot and not leave it too late. But no, I think it'll be good, especially if they do something with Bray Wyatt, because at the moment Bray is just in absolute disarray. Like what has happened to the poor man?
Poor man.
Since moving from SmackDown, I just
agreed.
Blame Jojo.
Right, guys.
I'm afraid I've got some bad
Press the keys.
I pressed it, but you can't hear it. It says, I'm afraid I've got some
I
bad
heard
news.
that.
we can hear it.
Oh,
you ain't got headphones.
I ain't got headphones. That's why I can't hear it.
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
That's fine.
It's bad news for Dom. Right, it's time for your Defend the Indefendable.
Have you used the jingle?
I'm about to, but no, I'll play it in 30 seconds once I tell you what the
No,
question.
but have you used the jingle which lets everyone know? No, there's a jingle for it.
Where's the jingle?
Right next to the 30-second timer.
Defend the Indefendable?
Yeah.
I thought that was 30 seconds after I tell you the question.
Don't you play it?
There's 30-second timer and Defend the Indefensible.
You're right. All right, it's our first time, right? It's going to be hiccups, all right? Leave us alone. Right. Dom, your question.
Well, you've got to explain what it is first.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's true. I just, because of the name, Defend the Indefendable.
Right,
all right,
we're
basically.
cutting this out anyway.
Yeah. Defend the Indefendable, guys, is I give these three each different statement, and it's pretty much blasphemy. Like, no one would agree with this, but they've got to defend it. They've got to defend the opinion, and then I pick the worst one, so the one I was least persuaded by.
And you've got to pick the best as well.
And I'll pick the best, of course.
We're going for glory, yeah?
And then you've just got that mid-carder.
Yeah, you got the Apollo crew.
I think I'd rather be a loser and a winner, not the mid-card.
I'm going to be that mid-carder.
Dom, are you ready for your statement that you've got to back up?
I am ready.
Are you ready?
So how long have we got? 30 seconds?
Wrestler's Court, yeah.
Wrestler's Court. Oh, God. No.
Right, your statement is Jinder Mahal is the greatest wrestler to ever step foot in the squared circle, and you've got 30 seconds to persuade me why. 3, 2, 1.
Well, you look at Jinder, his reign, it brought people in. He came over from India, he joined this, he made the Singh brothers relevant, and if the Singh brothers aren't the best thing in SmackDown right now, I don't know what is. Did you see that Coloss on Tuesday night?
They're really not.
One of the Singhs went flying, and only Jinder Mahal, with his brute strength, can do that. He carried Shinsuke Nakamura to not 1, 2 matches. He made the Punjabi prison relevant again, and not many people could do that. He brought back the god that is the Great Khali. The Great Khali is the best thing to happen this year in WWE. He was even listed on the website. That's how much we miss the Great Khali. Jinder for president, that's what I say.
That's enough. Pretty much perfectly timed, and I enjoyed the passion there. Well done, Dom.
Jinder for president.
Yeah, that was...
That's going straight on the ball. Dom, you just made the list.
No. He did his job well. He needs to persuade me. So,
What did the other guys think?
I actually thought, I don't want to give my opinion.
Think
This
about
is
what?
what I'm
Think about
saying.
what?
I'm not giving my opinion
About
until
his
you've heard
performance
ours.
there.
No,
I thought it was good.
Oh, there's
You're not-
competition.
You're not judging me, so...
Full jobber.
Oh yeah, I thought it was good, but then, yeah, I
What
thought
did you say, Joe the Jobber?
Nah,
There was pure passion in that.
there was
And
passion. I feel like he really, really likes Jinder Mahal.
I don't even think that's indefensible, to be honest. Long live Jinder.
I really do think that's.
You'd think me being Indian, I'd like back you there, but I hate Jinder Mahal, guys. So.
He didn't.
You're racist, that's what you are.
I'm not racist at all. Anyway, before we get back to the Raw review, it's time for our first segment and our individual segments, and it's time for Mystic Jake. Do I press it now?
It's hotkeys, man.
Right, Jake, floor's yours.
So the feud that I am predicting in the future will be Shane McMahon versus Daniel Bryan.
Ooh.
So there's been a lot of tension the last few weeks between the two. And I believe that Kevin Owens and Zayn will keep breaking the rules. They'll keep bending the rules. They'll keep winding Shane up until Shane eventually fires them. Over the next few weeks after that, I think that there'll be random attacks on Shane. So he'll be attacked in the locker room. He'll be attacked for the corridors. It'll turn out it'll be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn under the instructions of Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
Okay, so then Bryan turns heel. He shockingly attacks Shane, whilst obviously it comes out there was him behind the attack. Sets up Daniel Bryan for Shane McMahon at WrestleMania.
Do you not think Daniel Bryan won't... His first match, though, if he came back, it would be as a heel. Do you not see that as a bit of a...
No,
so.
because he'll be portrayed as a heel, but you know he's not going to be.
He's gonna be loved,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to be portrayed as a heel, but he's not. And I think this because obviously his contract runs out soon.
Yeah, after me.
Yeah, because he wants to wrestle. He wants to wrestle, and I think Vince thinks. Well, I think he will think that if he can wrestle somewhere else in a different organisation, he's losing a lot of money on Bryan. So if he
cash
can,
in on him.
yeah, if he can get cleared by anyone else, but not WWE doctors, they've got to do it.
Yeah,
And I think there's a lot of tension going between him at the minute that it could happen.
Okay.
Well, why not? Like, I just don't see how you can get Shane over as a face after being attacked by KO and Zayn when they're literally so good right now.
Okay,
This is Mystic Jake's segment, all right?
Yeah, Mystic
guys.
Jake has spoken.
If that happens, then shout out Mystic Jake.
Can I just say that I've predicted two things in the past, correct?
He has. He predicted Sami Zayn helping Kevin Owens right at the end.
And I predicted, what was the other thing I predicted?
I don't remember, it was just stupid.
It was incredible.
Some
what it
pure
was.
madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he is Mystic Jake. Right, back to the Raw review, guys, and we're going to talk about the NXT women. So, tell us what you think about Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville's absolution so far.
Well, first of all, Absolution.
That is an awful
It
name.
is the
Yeah.
worst
That's
name.
awful.
They should have done what they did on SmackDown and made it something about them. Like,
What are
just
the other
plain-
ones called? Riot Squad.
Riot
The
Squad,
Riot
because
Squad.
it's Ruby Riot. That makes sense. It's her squad, but Paige, Paige is obviously the leader. We can tell she's brought up
The Page Patrol.
Yeah, just
Oh, no, that's
Not-
even worse.
just like I don't know, but I don't know. Something about it just isn't getting to me. I think we can all agree this. When the other two women got the mic, this is what Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
It was bad.
They were not the best on the mic.
It was
So
very, very bad.
But they're all work in progress.
yeah,
Are they though?
They are, but
Yeah.
if they know,
That's what
if
NXT's
they
for.
know, if they know they're not good at promos, why give them a mic? Let Paige do the talking. She's been there. She's been at the top of the pile. She's like two-time champion, so she's carried the division essentially, and she's come back into this division now. It's completely different from when she left a year ago or so ago.
If you want to make stars, then
You're not going to make stars of them too. I'm sorry,
no.
you're not.
If you're going to give them a chance, they need a platform to show what they can do and get better. Like,
Just see how disinterested the crowd was.
so you're not a fan of it.
No.
What about you, Jake?
Not the whole storyline in general. Not just them two. I just think the storyline's poor.
Obviously, all four of us live in England. We should be really, really put on Paige.
I love Paige.
I've been not unimpressed, just a bit let down with her return. I think she's
agree.
been really cringy.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Bad.
I think it's been really.
That was awful.
It's been really cringy.
This is just shocking.
I feel like her. Why is she not a face? I don't understand.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
100% agree with that. She should have came back and done
As
a
a
singles
face.
run by herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
The crowd want to cheer her.
Yeah.
It is a fact. The crowd wanted her back.
You saw on Twitter when she came back, Twitter went absolutely berserk.
Yeah, we
I
follow a
agree.
lot of people on the Solent account.
Shout out Solent account.
And there's so many followers for Paige on there, and it's ridiculous how over she is with the universe, despite everything that's happened.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. She should have came back face.
What do you think on it, Bal?
I agree with what Jake said there. She should have came back face, but I think you guys are being a bit too harsh on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I think in order to get stars, they need to be given the opportunity to do stuff, and they might not be that great at it, but they need to get better.
In ring, they're all right. I think they're all right in the ring.
Mandy Rose is a lovely human being.
She is.
Keep it PG, lads. Right, Joe.
Hello.
Short little your thoughts pretty much on Seth Rollins and Cesaro's match.
I'm going to be honest, I'm just bored of it. I'm honestly really, really bored. How many different rotations of the Shield versus the Bar members can they do? I just think it shows at the moment they're not looking ahead far enough in on both Raw and SmackDown. There was a lot of matchups this week on both of them that I thought, we've seen this how many times? I thought the match itself was quite good because Rollins and Cesaro are two of the best on Raw in terms of in-ring ability.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that they are both probably two of the best wrestlers, but I just think it's boring. What's the story? And we all know that the Shield are probably going to win the tag team titles back eventually, I think they will.
I think
you do.
I
think that's the only reason Reigns has the US title.
Yeah, and
what do you think the whole Shield are going to take the titles actually on Raw?
I think they'll all. They won't all defend it, but they'll all be in title matches come WrestleMania.
What about what are they called? Why is it the Revival? Are they still
injured? Yeah.
He's back to December. I saw.
Yeah, Scott Dash Wilder got injured first of all, didn't he? Then they were out. And now Scott Dawson is now out, and I think he's on the mend. They should be back soon.
Next month I saw that
I'd like to see that.
I'd love to see them.
Shield Revival.
That is a
Shield
great
Revival.
match,
That is a dream match.
Who is Hills? Rival Hills?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't turn the Shield.
Yeah, turning all the Shield heel would literally be suicidal if you turned all three of them at the same time.
Can I just a bit off topic? But does anyone think that Roman's going to turn on Dean and Seth this time?
I don't think, but I'd love it.
I think it's an option.
I think it'll be Dean.
Do you? I see a lot of people saying Dean.
Dean would be a good heel.
But how good would Roman be though? Come on.
They will never do it.
They wouldn't.
Come on, how good would it be though?
It would be. I think for us it'd be amazing, and for everyone who's like us, like the Marks. But
remember,
or I think everyone agrees that Seth Rollins is a much better heel.
No, you can't turn him again.
If Seth turns him again,
you get boring. Yeah.
Dirty Dean, he's not been heel for ages since the Shield days. I think
No, he's not. Yeah, he's been face to face.
He needs to change up his character as well a bit.
Agree.
He's getting a bit.
He was so stale before the Shield.
His mentally unstable gimmick where he goes, lunatic fringe. He could do well as a heel. I think doing beating up people relentlessly and stuff like that.
Thing is, I still like to watch Cesaro and Sheamus. I think they're still quite a good tag team. But the Shield, it was good for the pop and first when it was Seth and Dean getting back together. Then when Roman joined, it was great.
Did I not say this exactly to you when we were in that studio last week? I was like, I'm getting a little bit bored of it if I'm honest. And you were like, how can you ever get bored of the Shield?
I just love
you
the
can
Shield,
because they've been there and done it, and now they're together. But they're too good to be by themselves.
Okay. Well, let's touch on the cruiserweight briefly. I knew.
Do we have to?
Snooze break.
Anyone? Did anyone watch it first of all?
Yeah,
absolutely not.
I did.
Okay, Dom. Thoughts?
Rich Swann is good, and I don't really want him to
analysis.
have He's had a push. I honestly thought Noam Dar was going to win it first of all.
Hill versus Hill would make sense.
Yeah, but there's the Fatal 4 versus the Fatal 4s that happen next week on Monday Night Raw. I honestly thought Noam Dar was going to go through just because he hasn't had a singles push. Look at Tozawa, he's won it. Rich Swann has won it. Who else was in Davari?
I thought
I don't think he's quite good enough to carry it.
Who won it? I didn't even see the match.
Rich Swann, right?
Oh, okay.
I like Rich Swann.
I actually thought it was a half decent match for the Cruiserweights.
It was.
All of them are.
I usually get a bit like, but this was actually right.
I think we all agree who needs to come back to save the Cruiserweight division.
Neville.
Rey Mysterio. No, I'm joking.
Well,
Elias.
there's rumours that Hideo Itami is definitely going to feature on 205 Live soon,
Really?
which is good because he's an amazing wrestler.
Well,
He invented the go to sleep before CM Punk, so and also Rockstar Spud is coming from TNA. If anyone, I don't know if anyone.
never heard of it.
This is why you're our
Yeah.
Mark, who knows.
Yeah,
Yes.
around the world journalist.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Excellent.
that'll be fun as well when he eventually comes, unless they repackage him, which would be bad.
Right, let's move on. I'm going to ask you about this, Jake. Asuka versus Dana. I know you're kind of a low-key fan of Dana. What did you think of that?
I'm not a low-key
You're a low-key fan
I think
of
she's.
Dana?
I think she's improved. She's improved, and
You've
she
got a
deserves.
wallpaper, haven't you?
Absolutely not.
What's that on your phone, Jake?
It's Dana Brooke. It's just a standard Oscar match, and it's just.
It was just a way. It ended
What?
so
How are
quickly.
you
Like it was
slandering?
just so. Like I expected her to squash her again, but not that quick. That was
Yeah.
just crazy.
It was mad.
Like,
But-
what does Oscar do though? What's her next thing? What's she?
It's a
Go on,
title.
go for the
It's a
title.
title.
Yeah, but
Wait till my fantasy booking, lads.
Okay.
Right, that's all I'm saying.
That's
Cool, that's the tease and a
that is
half.
whetting the appetite.
Oh, we got a power
as a certain
cut.
someone would
Did you
say.
want did you want Jake to talk about Paige and that coming out in that afterwards as well, or were we just talking about the
Page and what, sorry?
Because obviously they come out, didn't they?
Absolutely
And
came
surrounded
out.
the ring.
Then
With
Asuka-
Asuka, yeah,
Yeah,
I was going to
but Asuka
get
just
into
kind
that.
of walked out. Like, okay.
Go on, do you want to say?
Briefly, I mean, it's not important.
The only thing I thought it was a little bit of a pointless segment to me because if they didn't talk, nothing was said.
I think
It just literally, I think it just made Asuka look even more of a boss. Like
that's what
she's
they're
not-
trying.
She's
yeah.
not scared of them three, and she's just unbelievable, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, Jake's not a fan of Asuka.
I
Don't
wasn't
lie.
either.
I'm not.
But she's
I'm
grown
not
on
a
me.
fan. I don't know. She's just. I think she's booked a bit like Goldberg, and she. She's just. I don't know. I feel like WrestleMania. I think Oscar versus Bliss versus Paige could be a good title fight.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way to go. But
I'm gonna say this now. Asuka has it. I don't know what it is, but she's gonna carry either the SmackDown or Raw, whatever she's on. You will see her there for the next 2-3 years, and she will be at the top
I
the
like
whole
it.
time.
Mm-hmm, I agree.
Because she is. I don't know why, but she's money.
Do you
She
know-
doesn't talk a lot, but
Money.
she's money.
do you not agree with me about the language barrier though?
It's
Because
hard. It's hard.
I
Shinsuke
can't get
is-
invested in her because I like
Right,
people to
Jake.
talk. Like
You just made the list.
I won't talk.
But it's I think Shinsuke hasn't quite mastered it because he relies on his talking and maybe a little bit more. But Asuka, because the women's division is not as good as the men's, it's easier to make a big impression. I think. And
Yeah.
Asuka, she's so much more talented than almost anyone on the women's division right now.
Ooh.
Bar maybe Charlotte
dare
and
you.
Sasha.
That's
Yeah.
a bit over the top.
I wouldn't say Sasha.
I
Wait.
wouldn't say Sasha. Charlotte
Charlotte.
Flair.
Made the list.
Tommy's on the list now as well.
Brilliant.
Can- what does everyone think's gonna happen? This is a bit off topic. What does everyone think's gonna happen with Nia?
Fantasy
never
booking.
really been
fantasy
given-
booking.
Did we all see
Oh.
what happened with her this week though?
No.
She put out a tweet saying that she's been body shamed in WWE. from the
Really?
Inside.
From
Yeah.
fellow wrestlers.
Well, we don't know who it is, but the way she put it made it sound like she has been body shamed from the inside,
Oh,
and it's not just Twitter, which is a shame because Nia
He's talented.
I love Nia.
I don't know what anyone says, but she's an athlete.
Yeah.
She has a body, and she is an athlete.
Mm-hmm. She's money, I think.
Yep.
She was money
She adds
6 months
something
ago.
so
Yeah.
different to the brand, and if they didn't have her, it'd be like
Mm.
Yeah,
Nia is
yeah.
big. Whenever I see Nia, I'm like,
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
And I didn't mean big as in big. I just mean she's like big.
You just made
Sorry.
I didn't mean like
I love
that.
this power over it.
Yeah.
Did you say she was money 6 months ago? As
Yeah.
in,
She if she needed the title 3-4 months ago, if she was going to get the title and be that monster that she's portrayed as, she needed the title back then.
The
She's
female brawn.
She lost to Bailey. She's lost to Banks. She's
Yeah.
lost. Do you know what I mean? Like,
She got count out, lost to Tamina.
Well, she got counted out of Survivor Series, didn't she?
yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like if they wanted her to be their next big monster women's superstar, then it was 3-4 months ago.
I think there's a look that a certain someone at the top of WWE likes, and I don't
Vince
I think
McMahon
she's
likes-
that. Yeah.
I don't think, she is that. So as long as he is there, they are not going to go for it.
But we have much love for Nia around the table.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
do.
I think we all do, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, guys.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Dom can't hear, but
I can. I
you
heard
can.
the bad news, Barrett.
it's bad news because it's time for Dom's segment.
My segment.
Yes, it is
Oh,
indeed. It's time. Do you want me to play it?
Get my intro.
It's time for Elsewhere in WWE in wrestling.
Lovely. So, elsewhere in wrestling, obviously it's the first one, so it's going to be a couple of weeks old, but just got a couple of notes to run through with you all. Austin Aries, once his 90 days, I think it's no match clause, comes to an end, he's going to be facing Pete Dunne, who's obviously the UK Championship holder.
Love Pete Diddley.
That'll be on January the 21st, Destiny Wrestling, which I believe is in Canada. And Pete Dunne is also the Destiny title holder, so that'll be a very good match.
That's a great match.
I agree.
Brilliant match. So I also said earlier, Rockstar Spud, he's coming over to WWE, whether he goes to NXT or straight into 205 Live, but that'll be good for all the TNA fans. He's a big name there, and he's also British. So that's quite good. He's been featured in a couple of like the indie promotions over in England. Emma, she left last month, WWE. I think.
Melina.
Well,
She
she didn't leave. She got booted.
Yeah, she got booted.
It's
but
only a matter of time.
she is now taking bookings for when her 90-day no match clause come up under her real name, which is a Tennille Dashwood.
I feel sorry for her.
Great name.
Yeah, but she's taking bookings under her real name, mostly in Japan at the moment, but expect to see her over in the States in the short time. ICW is coming back in December. It takes a couple of weeks off after Fear and Loathing, which was the night before Survivor Series. BT Gunn is their undisputed champion. He beat Joe Coffey to win both the Zero G Championship and the ICW Heavyweight Championship. So
Okay.
it'll be interesting to see if BT Gunn can carry ICW on his shoulders and when he will drop one of those belts. Angelico, no longer taking bookings for AAA over in Mexico. We don't know his Lucha Underground status at the moment, so it could be that he heads over to NXT or if he gets renewed for Season 4 of Lucha Underground. Some big news in the terms of the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes and the rest of Bullet Club want to fill a 10,000-seater stadium for an indie show. I don't know what you all think about that. 10,000 people for an indie show. I mean, WWE Live don't even...
No.
They're big.
That's
out
a
there,
push.
aren't they?
Where is it? Do you know where it is? Or?
I don't know.
In the
I can't remember
States, is it?
It's in the States.
Maybe
yeah.
then. Maybe.
So-
Yeah, in America, and we're over in the UK. But in America,
Yeah.
it's massive wrestling. So.
I actually noticed this week on SmackDown that there was a Hangman Page top right in the front row of SmackDown, which is obviously he's in the Bullet Club. So I just want to know, can WWE do anything to handle the merch sales of the Bullet Club? You see a couple of Bullet Club T-shirts at every event almost now, either a Kenny Omega one or Bullet Club in general, or the Bucks.
Don't you have one?
I do.
This is why I don't understand why they haven't cashed in on Balor Club, Bullet Club, all these clubs.
Yeah.
I think just people in WWE, they'll realise that it's not the same. I mean, in Japan, Bullet Club can go over there and swear their heads off.
True.
So, like, they can't obviously do that in WWE, and people want to see a less PG item, I guess. So it'd be interesting to see if they can try and curve that and get some good merch of their own. Maybe Matt Hardy might be that merch bringer in if he goes with his full broken gimmick. And just a quick update on Chris Jericho. I just want to know what's going to be going on with him when he'll be back in WWE, because obviously he's fighting Kenny Omega at the Dominion, the Tokyo Dome, not Dominion, in January the 4th, which is New Japan's Kingdom. I can't remember what it's called now. I will remember one day. And also he's got the Rock and Roll Rager Wrestling Cruise, which is in October. And you'd think if he was going to fight in New Japan in January, would he not just come back then for either a Mania season or post-Mania just to get the crowd going again?
Well, isn't his thing with Kevin Owens over? Is it over?
Yeah, but there's more stuff to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
So hopefully Jericho comes back, but it's just a matter of when, because obviously he's got this cruise. It's Ring of Honor based, so there's going to be a lot of Ring of Honor stars there. You'll get the Young Bucks, you'll get Cody Rhodes, Marty Scurll, etc., etc. So I just want to know when he comes back. I'm sure Jake will be looking out for him
He'll be there at the Rumble.
at the Rumble, yeah, which is on the
27th
Omega?
January. No,
Jericho.
Jericho.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think he might, if they do pull off the show, the Bucks, I think that will link, and I think Jericho will go and face Kenny Omega there for a number 2, if that happens, because that is in the rumour mill. And that is everything from me. I hope you haven't missed anything out, and I will give you some more international wrestling news later on next episode.
later on the next episode. Cheers, Dom. Right, let's go back to Raw. Okay, so up next was Reigns' match with Elias. Let's go, Joe. What did you make of the match?
I already said, I think earlier, I said the match was really good. Elias put up a good showing. I haven't actually seen him perform that well in a long time. Like Dom said, was it just that Reigns carried him to a good match? I'm not so sure. I thought Elias did a good job. At points, it looked like he was actually going to win. Obviously, that was never going to happen. They wouldn't take it off of Reigns that easily. But I thought the match was good on what I thought was a very poor Raw show in general. I thought that match was one of the better ones on there.
Jake?
I like Elias. Yeah, I like him.
What did you make of the match, then?
Yeah, I actually agree with Dom and thought Reigns carried him a bit. But that just shows how good Reigns is.
Yeah.
But I think Elias is good. I like him. I think he's mid-card. He's mid-card. He's mid-card. He's a superstar. But he's a good mid-card superstar to have.
Yeah, like everyone said, he does get a reaction, whether it's good, bad, or in between.
We all love that.
Yeah, he gets a reaction from the crowd, so fair play to him.
Yeah. Okay. Almost finished the Raw review. Let's go on to Jason Jordan versus Kane.
This was a mess, wasn't it?
Well, it was Jason Jordan versus Kane, then Finn Balor versus Kane.
And then Braun Strowman kills Kane.
Pretty much. That's
yeah,
it. We're done, lads.
No,
I don't know if anyone's seen. I'm going to quickly just jump over the fact Jason Jordan was there and his knee. Does anyone care about Jason Jordan anymore?
Turn him heel.
Absolutely.
Turn him heel, 100%.
Just
but
put him back in the tag team.
Vin has been very, very sassy on Twitter since that last. Have you seen he's changed?
Over thing.
Could you just if anyone doesn't know, just let them know.
Yeah, so he's changed his name to Finn Forever, but the O and the VER are all in caps, so over. And I think Finn knows that he's struggling a bit for momentum at the moment. Which is a shame because Finn is a very good wrestler and he was the first Universal Champion, so they obviously have big plans for him.
They won't let us not know about that.
We've all said for a long time though, and Dom did defend it for a while, and we were like, Finn's just a bit boring, weren't he? I think us three said that, and then Dom wasn't so sure about. Now, what do you think? Stale?
Yes, sadly stale.
Yeah,
but I think that if you were in an Indies or NXT, you'd get away with it because he's such a good wrestler. Whereas WWE, you got to have the gimmick, you got to have it all, you got to be able to talk.
Absolutely.
But it's sadly his in-ring wrestling won't get him any further than he is right now.
Right. That's our last segment. Braun, Kane. Anyone interested?
They made Kane look Kane look so strong and Strowman so weak. They made him look human. He's supposed to be the monster among men.
They're both supposed to be like.
Yeah, and Strowman's walking off with like a dodgy throat. Like I don't want to see that from Braun Strowman. I just want to see him. He's either laying down on the floor out, or I want to see him looking strong. Yeah. I don't want to see.
That was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to see a human side of Braun, and then he comes back and just does exactly the same. Like,
but he did it twice. That made him look better.
Kane's supposed to be a demon.
Kane though, like
was
he 52?
He come out of nowhere.
He's genuinely around 50 years old.
He's a very, very old man.
Leave Glenn alone. He's the devil's favourite demon, right? You're not a fan, Jake?
No, I'm a massive fan of Braun. Everybody knows how much I like Braun. But Kane's not the right. Braun needs to be in that main event. He needs to be elevated somehow.
I think, is a stepping stone. He's
not. I think he's step down.
How is he a stepping stone?
As in, like, he's a filler. Sorry, that's what I meant. They don't have anything for Braun.
Okay.
Just feed him to Kane.
That's fine. Then give him a big feud either for the Rumble or make him look strong. And
who do you think they're going to feud him with after Kane?
Where's his next? I'd like to see Braun versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that would be good.
I think Samoa Joe's going to go for Reigns. So
yeah, he is. Yeah,
which was made quite clear, I think, on Monday.
I could watch Reigns versus Braun over and over and over.
Yeah, so could I. I would never get bored of Braun versus Reigns.
I actually think they might go Strowman versus Lesnar too.
Well, yeah, he's over. Braun's over. Why not?
And it doesn't matter what Brock is, heel or face. It really doesn't matter who he's fighting. I think that could honestly be what they do at Rumble, which I don't. Would any of us really have any concerns about that?
Absolutely
not.
No. There you go then. That's money, WWE. That is your money.
They're all listening there at WWE to the Solent WWE podcast.
I'm sure Vince has got us on.
Right, that sums up our Raw review. We'll go on to SmackDown, but first it's time for my fantasy book. Oh, why is my jingle just poor?
A little one for the battle.
I'm playing it again.
Oh.
Okay. By the way, guys, this is like ludicrous. Like none of this is ever going to happen. It doesn't make sense. But
shock. So what is it? It's fantasy booking.
So it's like what I do when I do my predictions. When I'm like, this is going to happen, you're like, nah, absolutely not.
It's just not going to happen. It's just ludicrous, but just go with it. It's fantasy anyway.
I quite like these then.
Okay, so Banks and Bailey are going to get fuming with the new NXT arrivals, right?
Yeah.
And Bliss got beaten up, even though she showed like a nice side, like nice to meet you, and they beat the 7 shades out of them. And Bailey gets feistier because she they pick on her specifically. So people get behind Bailey. She's being a bit more aggressive now, right? And then this leads to a huge match at the pay-per-view. So Bliss, Banks, and Bailey. Triple B or whatever you want to call them. Any.
It's the next pay-per-view,
Okay.
so yeah.
Triple B, you can call them whatever you want to call them.
Triple B. There you
Triple
go.
B
That's money.
book it. Versus the NXT, what are they called? Absolution.
Absolutely.
Awful. Anyway, Absolution go over, right?
Who gets the pin? Paige?
Wait for it. So you can either have Bailey turns on Banks, or Banks turns... Actually, no, scrap that. Even better. Bliss double crosses them, like characteristically of the...
Walks out?
Huh?
Walks out?
No, like turns on them like... I don't know.
Beats them.
Beats them.
Okay.
They win. Absolution win.
So heel Bliss
That's
again.
a 4-man stable now.
Well,
Bliss
Bliss
is the
joins him.
Yeah, wait for it.
A 4-woman stable.
Yeah, the 4. Yeah. And then... What did I say? Oh, I don't
Saying
know.
about Bliss.
Yeah. And then Banks and Bailey are in the ring and everyone's cheering them. Like, they just got up because they're injured. You know, they did the whole hold my head and like everyone's cheering them. And then, are you ready for this?
Oh, no.
One turns on the other. Whoever you want, like Bailey turns on Bliss. They're like fed up with each other. Or Bailey turns on Banks, or Banks turns on Bailey. And you could just have money. So they're doing their own thing. And you've got the 4-man stable. That leaves Jax and Asuka to feud with the title. What's her name? Bliss is out of the title reign. So she's in the stable, right? Okay. And then on SmackDown, you've got the, Riot Squad.
Yeah.
I should know this. So they've got an ongoing feud with the roster, with the women's roster. One pay-per-view, one SmackDown, you got them attacking Charlotte and Naomi in the ring. Everyone's like, oh, Becky, because Becky's filming. Becky comes back, goes, whoa, you know, all that. And then she comes out, and everyone's like, yeah. And then she beats up.
Straight fire.
She beats up the Riot Squad, and they're all in the ring like the Shield, you know, like they do. And then, who again? Ruby Riott slides in a chair. She's like that. She's holding her head, but she slides in a chair. Becky picks it up, hits Charlotte, hits Naomi like the Shield. Becky's turned heel. She's finally like relevant again. Like, and then that's a madness. So now you've got Riot Squad and Becky, and at Royal Rumble, if they did a Royal Rumble women's match, which is rumoured, you've got Becky's Riot Squad if you want, and then you've got the Bliss Shield or the Bliss thing, and they clash.
I like that.
Do you like that?
I do like it. I think it's a very, very
it's
old
outlandish.
It is
but
absolutely
but the thing is-
outrageous.
and you've done the same thing basically on both
Yeah.
brands. You've
but
made
that-
6 people into a 4 and a 2.
But to be fair, that is exactly what they're doing at the moment. They're trying to make them
Yeah.
exactly the same.
everyone's like, oh, okay, we've got 4 over here, we've got 4 over there. Oh, we got a women's
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, first one ever. Everyone's like, oh, damn, like this is too groups.
Oh, damn.
Come on.
Did you say that Bliss loses the title? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
well,
she'll lose the
she's-
title.
Okay, to Oscar. Oscar.
That's
Yeah, to ask all Jax, whatever.
Okay.
Jack's not good, I don't.
What did you guys think of that? I know it's crazy, but would you want to see that?
Yeah.
What Becky Hill?
Becky Hill leading
Becky
that group.
needs to be Hill.
So would you like that?
I'd like Becky
I'd
being
like
Hill.
it.
So you don't like the idea?
It's okay. It's okay.
I like the idea. I think that Bailey Sasha needs to happen eventually.
Come on,
That's
I just got
literally-
Banks and Bailey turning on each other.
No, that's what I just said. I
By the
said
way-
it's good,
Yeah.
and I think we need to see Bailey Sasha eventually happen like
Thank
that
you.
because it's
Banks
been
is
so long.
definitely turning on Bailey. There's no way.
I think it's the other way
They're not
round.
going to push Bailey as a heel.
Bailey cannot be a heel.
Yeah, but no one likes Bailey
But-
at the moment
Yeah, but
as a face.
but-
like she's just lost all
Nobody
momentum.
likes it because we're not 10-year-old girls.
I'd be more interested in
like it
Bailey
at the
turning on
start.
Banks.
There you go then.
No,
Who'd
lost
be a better heel though?
interest.
You don't know.
Banks
yeah,
is-
yeah.
because Banks was a heel in NXT.
Yeah, but imagine Bailey. That would be, I reckon, be money. Broken Bailey. I've always
Oh.
said it.
Broken
Bailey corrupted by everyone thinking she's too nice and she
Well,
goes mental.
Your fantasy booking, first one. Good start.
Thank you.
You're only going to get better now, mate.
The snake didn't think so, but we don't know.
Can't get much worse, can you? So, only ways up.
Right, that sums it up, guys. See that, right? Anyway, and once again,
Is it SmackDown
I'm
time?
afraid I've got some bad news.
Jake, I've got some bad news.
Oh.
It is time for Defend the Indefendable. I've been looking forward to this all day, guys.
Oh, what's he
He
gonna
is a
ask you?
big Brock Lesnar fan. Like, this
Oh.
guy literally loves Brock Lesnar. And your statement is, Brock Lesnar should be demoted to the cruiserweight division and lose to Enzo Amore. Defend that. You got 30 seconds.
Brock Lesnar is 40 years old. He's not in his prime of his career in a minute. Enzo's up and coming, a great in the mic, a great physical specimen. I believe that he could pick up Brock Lesnar from the top rope, suplex him, and do his little dance, and heartbreakingly beat Brock Lesnar and become king of WWE.
You've got time to film, mate. You've got under 10 seconds.
He doesn't need it.
I don't need it.
You do need it.
Um,
Come on, why is Brock Lesnar should be demoted?
he just shouldn't be.
Oh, we know he's lost.
Ah,
I knew that would get him.
Oh no.
I knew that
That
would
was
get
very
him.
good.
Something
can't-
tells me I can't do worse than that.
You can't make me
Unless you
justify.
mention Roman Reigns, in which I'm in trouble.
You can't make me justify why Enzo Amore should beat Brock Lesnar. That is literally.
It's defend the undefendable for a reason.
I couldn't
alright?
defend
Jake,
it.
we
Yeah.
got a couple haters.
Yeah.
A couple haters.
I thought that was genius. Anyway.
Yeah, that was funny to see.
I'd like to say I'm firmly in the lead at the moment.
Oh,
I
you're not the
mean-
judge.
I think it's a close draw.
Oh, it looks like I'm going to be that mid-carder at this rate.
Actually, you didn't like my idea, did you? Yeah, Dom, you're definitely in the lead.
It's a great idea.
Thank you. I'm glad you've seen the light. Right, let's go on to SmackDown. We're starting with Shane Shenanigans McMahon. What did you guys make of this promo with Daniel Bryan? Let's start with Dominic.
Well, considering I live tweeted it, it's only fair. That's how I start.
Yeah, okay. If I went to-
But no, Shane coming out again right at the start. Does anyone want to see it? Joey's mimicking a yawn. That's how much we don't want to see that again. We've seen Shane come out the past, at least 3, I want to maybe say 4 in a row. It's just a bit stale. I mean, we don't care that much about Shane.
We don't. Unless he's jumping off a cage. Really.
Yeah.
Poor guy, man. He loses every match.
I don't think we really care about it. D. Bryan, always good, gets the crowd going. But at the end of the day, what came out at the end of it, they were just like, yeah, we've got a match for tonight. And then they just kind of walked off again. Nothing else really happened. So it just, yeah, come on now. Let's get something different, please.
Tension.
I wouldn't mind if Kevin Owens would start or something.
The snake is hissing. What do you want?
Some Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan tension, like I said. There's going to be a feud.
What's
Yeah.
happened?
There's going to be a feud.
He's just saying that, like you said earlier, like the Shane feud with Bryan.
Well, realistically, what's Shane going to do next? What, fight Sammy?
Mystic J.
I thought,
Is that it?
to be fair, I was saying when I was watching it with Dom, I actually thought that happened last night, didn't I? I was like,
Yeah.
because Shane just kept mimicking Sammy with that whole like,
Ooh,
what does he say? What was it Sammy kept saying?
Oh,
check,
check.
double check.
And the old.
And he kept
like,
doing that.
Can
I
we-
thought it's certainly got to be like, there's got to be a match there somewhere because
Any opinions on Sami Zayn as a heel?
I really like
Love
it.
it.
You like it?
I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, I don't.
I
But
don't.
think about it.
He's
How boring was he before this? He
Actually,
was
no,
really pointless.
What I meant was I don't like it as in I don't like him as in he's doing his job well. He's annoying me and I think that's
Oh.
what he's supposed to be
Oh,
doing.
so you like it?
Yeah, but I don't like it.
See, I think he's not a natural heel at all. I think he's struggling.
You do realise he was heel a lot of his time when before.
El
But he
Generico.
just-
El Generico.
Yeah,
but he didn't have a character really. He was just well.
yeah. I just think it's a bit like if you turn
Mask.
Bailey heel, it just doesn't seem right. And at the minute, I just don't think it seems right.
I like it.
I think there's a difference between Sammy and Bailey, because
Yeah.
Bailey sells merch. Zayn, very much stuck in the mid card, doesn't sell.
I don't get why he's got the same theme.
He's only come out to his theme a couple of times. He normally comes out with Garvin's, isn't he?
You know, I suppose it does add to the whole, or like I'm over the top.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like just a sarcastic.
It's very flamboyant, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen eventually with Zayn and Owens?
Owens will turn on Zayn.
Yeah. I think that's
Think again?
At the Rumble, yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
That's
So
so
it's a-
samey though.
It's the only way they can.
Well, that's how every
yeah.
feud works. You have
Yeah.
a tag team, you split them up.
Yeah, but
and-
I mean, Owens has already messed over Zayn before, so wouldn't you do it
But
different?
that's a good thing. It's be like literally this time, like this is it with you. Like I'm done. Like we came back together to be friends. I helped you even though I hated you. Then finally, this is the last straw. WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all.
They never fought at Main, did they?
Maybe,
No.
maybe put them in a cage or something, or
Yeah.
last man standing or
Yeah.
something.
I agree. Some sort of match. Give
Yeah,
me.
gimmick match. Yeah, because they've had good one-on-one matches. We know they can do good one-on-one matches. I think was it Battleground maybe last year. I think before the brand split, they had a really good match there.
I think Owens turns him at Rumble. That's what I think. I think he throws him out.
It's either at the
Good
Rumble
idea.
or at Mania. If they don't do it at the Rumble, they'll do it at Mania.
Right, guys. Well, talking about tag teams that potentially splitting up and stuff, I'm going to go on to the New Day and Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. So, what did you guys make of this whole thing? You know, this whole little three-way thing going on with the Usos. I don't know what's going on, to be honest.
I just thought I was saying to Dom, I thought it confused me because I thought the New Day Usos thing, I thought was over. Like, they're now very friendly with each other. You saw them come out, give them a couple of pancakes, whatever. And then I thought, well, Gable and Benjamin are going to win this because if they've got a bit of momentum and they're going to go on to fight the Usos, then it only makes sense for them to beat the New Day. But then when the New Day picked up the win, I thought, are we just not going backwards here? Like, now it's going to just give the New Day another bit of a push. And I just don't want to see New Day Usos again.
I just
don't.
I think all roads lead to a triple threat.
Yeah.
With the Bludgeon Brothers.
No.
Get them out of here.
We'll get to them in a minute.
Benjamin Gable, New Day, Usos.
Then the Usos
champion.
retain.
No.
I think the New Day will win and the Usos won't get pinned, which then leads to their feud again.
Oh, I don't
They can't feud again.
Their matches were
you.
good, to be fair, though, weren't they?
I don't want to see
The matches were really good, and I also think the New Day they're being pushed as the best tag team of all time. They're going to keep dropping them, winning them, just to push
Who's
them.
that? Who?
The New Day.
So I think Usos are better than New Day. I think Usos are incredible.
So do I.
I think
Not all
they're better as
time.
heel though. I don't like them as this face now because they're doing exactly the same stuff, just they're not attacking people. They're doing they cut exactly the same promos, which is why the other week I was confused whether they're heel or face.
But at Hell in a Cell, it was described to us as their last match together.
Yeah, because they always say the hell's the finishing, isn't it?
Yeah, so sure that they can't. I mean, literally a month later, go into it and say, "Oh, they're feuding again."
Or maybe give the Usos a bit of a break then and push them down to like the Bludgeon Brothers or something like that.
Push
No.
them
Down. Bludgeon Brothers are getting pushed.
This is the
The
best.
Usos are the best tag team
Yeah.
at the moment.
100%.
They're better than Shield.
This is the best run of their career by a long
Yeah,
way.
it is.
I love the Usos.
That's all for their gimmick. Like fair play to them for going away, changing it up, and coming back stronger.
Like I have friends who I live with who don't watch wrestling at all.
I like the Usos.
They still play their music, their theme song.
Yes.
They love it.
Not as much as I play it.
They love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to get some clout here. I did say they were face, and you were like, no, they're heel. And
Yeah, that's the thing. I thought they were heel because they cut exactly the same promos. They do everything the same
Yeah, they didn't
except
change.
yesterday they were smiling and having pancakes to the New Day.
And what confused me was Chad Gable. He's not a heel.
Gable's the tweener, and then Benjamin's the face.
I think he's undecided.
Benjamin's the heel. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm probably looking into it too much, right? But Gable's just like, do I side with the fans who I like, or go with Benjamin, who's like a heel type character, and he's in between.
I think it's a matter of time before Benjamin does split from Gable. It hasn't really worked. They've
No.
put on some good matches, but Benjamin's a solo, isn't he?
I
And
agree.
He could go for that United States Championship easily.
Yeah, they need someone on SmackDown as well.
Yeah, and Benjamin's that guy. He might be old, but you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Right. Bobster, Big Bobby Roode, and challenging Baron Corbin, Big Bazza. What did you make of that, Jake?
It's the right thing.
Mm.
I think Baron Corbin, if you're going to go with him, he's going to need a good feud. Bobby Roode, he's not going to be main eventing for now. I think in the future he will be. I think he has to. But obviously AJ Styles, Jinder, that's all in the main event. So Bobby Roode had to do something. So why not? But Baron Corbin, the only thing that worries me is they're quite slow. As in wrestling, like
in the ring.
In the ring, yes. They both slow and they build up towards the end. But is it going to be too slow to where we're going to be bored? That's what I'm slightly worried about. But it's good for Bobby Roode. I think he'll eventually win that title.
Yeah, he deserves a title run on the biggest stage. I mean, he's nearly 40 years old now, if not 40, and
that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, he's worked a long time to get to the WWE. He did well in NXT, put on a couple of good matches, Shinsuke, Drew. So yeah, and maybe as a face, he might not get over as well as he would as a heel, but who knows?
Okay, right. Let's take a pause, take a little break from the SmackDown. Yeah, it's so on here. The SmackDown review. We're going to go to Hail or Stale. Take the floor, Joe.
Well, it's not really the floor, is it?
Rude.
Okay, so what do you want me to do? Hail or Stale first?
do whatever you want,
alternate.
mate.
I'd like a Hail or like a Stale.
Well, yeah, I'm doing both. Which one would you rather first?
I'd rather
Do it, mate.
So
Surprise.
tell us who.
All right, we'll go Stale first.
Who are we staling this week?
we'll stale Bray Wyatt.
Ooh.
Just because, well, I mentioned it earlier. So Bray on SmackDown, I thought that his matchups with Randy Orton, although they did go on for a long, long time, thought that fitted his character well. His promos back then were at least half decent. We kind of all bought into this whole mad Sister Abigail kind of thing.
What should happen with that, by the way?
Oh mate, I'm glad they didn't.
I think they just cut it because he got that months, didn't it, or whatever they had.
So they just cut the idea after.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was
probably
the
the right decision. Yeah.
Carry on, Joe.
And then since he's moved over to Raw, he hasn't really. I don't think he's really found a spot.
No.
Like he's not really found anyone solid to feud with. I don't think any of the stuff that he's done has been
I
brilliant.
think the Balor was long out.
His promos are now laughable. Everyone just takes the mick out of them the whole time.
It's the same ones though. For 3 years, he's doing the same promos.
Who can tell me who Wyatt feuded with before Finn?
Randy Orton?
Nope.
Dean Ambrose.
Nope.
Was it someone from Raw?
Yeah, Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah.
just,
That was
just how-
that was the feud that happened when we went to Raw in May. Sorry.
Did he lose that one as well?
Yes.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
He just go on, Joe. Sorry.
So yeah, you've got that. And what was it you saw the other day? His win percentage.
40%.
Oh, what is that? Pay-per-views or all time?
Nope. All time.
40.
40% win.
To be fair, that's actually higher than I thought it would be.
Same actually.
I just think he's been booked really, really badly since he's been on Raw. Maybe it's just that his character doesn't fit Raw, and that he's kind of should be on SmackDown. He can maybe be a little bit darker because I always think Raw is very mainstream. It's like the ones you know more about. SmackDown's like the up and coming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
The show.
well, a
That's
little
what they
bit.
say.
So you can be a little bit different on SmackDown. They try a bit more. It's less of the mainstream, and I just think that Bray Wyatt would suit that more. And for that reason, he's stale on Raw.
Okay, well, who knows? You never know. This Matt Hardy feud, which is looking like it could elevate him. But okay, tell us who is Hale.
All right, so Hale, we have mentioned him quite a lot tonight, and for me at the moment, who I hail is Elias. I really hated I hated Elias at the start. I just thought it's going to be another one of these people that just kind of comes into WWE, does the runs, helps people just here, there, and everywhere. Doesn't really have a purpose, but his gimmick now I'm actually really starting to enjoy. I don't know about you lot, but I actually want to walk with Elias. So you've got that. I also thought the matchup with Reigns, he actually looked half decent in the ring as well. So in terms of an all-round character, I actually think that Elias is doing really well at the moment. I think he's on a little bit of a run, and for that reason, I'm hailing Elias.
Would you keep him with the Miz Taraj?
You've got to.
Long term?
No, for like the next month or so.
They could help him.
I'd keep him with it for now. It's not doing any damage to him whatsoever.
Gives him something extra.
Yeah, and it gives them both more of a purpose to be there. So, yeah, I just really like Elias at the moment. Doesn't mean I will in the future, but at the moment, I'm a big fan.
Okay. Anything else? Is that your Stale and Hale for the week?
Yeah, that's my Hale and Stale for the week.
Okay. Thought that was your Hale and Stale for the week. Let's move on to the bludgeons.
The big bludgeon brothers.
Right, who wants to? Go on, Jake.
I'm very passionate.
I just
about
don't
this.
care.
That's enough for me.
I don't know. It's just the Wyatt family. Like, why? I know we package them and give them
no first names now. They're just literally
Harper and Rowan, isn't it? Yeah. Luke Harper deserves more, doesn't he? No, let's be honest.
I just say they're not Luke Harper anymore. It's literally Harper and Rowan.
Are you listening?
Did you listen to this?
Right, that's
We literally just said.
Yeah, we just call him Luke Harper.
Yeah, but we.
You know your damn role.
You can't hear what he's playing.
No. DJ shut my mouth.
So yeah,
So-
carry on, Jake.
They could be good if I think it's more the fans. If the fans give them a chance, they could be good because we know that in ring, Luke Harper is actually very good. Rowan, not as good, but still okay.
I don't understand the Luke Harper like.
Oh no, he's for his size,
not.
he's very good.
Yeah, but someone said, sorry to interrupt you. Someone said on Twitter he should have main evented Mania.
No,
What?
Absolutely not.
Who said that?
I can't remember.
probably Dom.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Carry on.
Just comment Storm.
To be fair, whoever said it earlier, maybe giving him the Usos who can actually get good matches out of people.
But we're buried.
The thing
is
is,
go,
if they give them the
but-
Usos, they're
No,
not going to let
no.
the Usos win that, are they? Because they're
Yeah,
trying to build the Bludgeon Brothers up.
No, they'd just squash the.
They'll get built up, but then they'll get brought back down. It's happened before with the Wyatt
At
family.
what point do you think they're
The
going to get?
Ascension.
So where do they go from now? Because obviously you're probably going to go on to this where the Hype Bros have split up. So now who do they face?
The Colognes are on SmackDown.
Who?
I was thinking.
Worse.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Okay, the Colognes.
I was thinking chatting Gable and Benjamin fight the Bludgeon Brothers, and the Bludgeon Brothers go over because Benjamin turns on Gable, so that way like one's elevated and the other two can go and do their separate thing.
There's not many good teams on SmackDown at the moment.
No, they definitely need someone.
Bring
They
the
need-
Wyatts back together.
Absolutely not.
I
Look,
said
KO
that.
and Sammy. That's another one. Kind of
Yeah,
insane.
but who's going to be
Long
the face
term,
in
that's
that
not
though?
going to happen.
And they're not a tag team.
No.
They're two singles that have joined together for one purpose.
They're too good to be in a tag team together
Yeah.
as individuals. So
Mm.
I think that with the Bludgeon Brothers, it's very much like Bray. They don't know how to get the best out of them,
Yeah.
and they've kind of this is like last chance saloon. Like, give them a whole new package, chuck them in, see how they do, and if it doesn't work, then well, we're in trouble here.
Yeah.
It's
And
weird.
I don't think it's going to work.
It's weird that them two actually came from NXT originally. Like they've only been on the main roster I think 4 years.
Well, they the tag. No, that was the Ascension. They were tag team champs for
But,
ages, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird seeing where they came from and where they are now. Like they've been repackaged. Obviously Harper turned on Bray at one point. It's just weird seeing they're back. But the gimmick's fun, kind of, for like 1 or 2 weeks. But if they use the hammers, I'd be much more inclined to watch them.
They're not going.
They just kind of leave the hammers there. Like, do something with them. You've got big flipping hammers, use them.
I just want
Yeah.
Rowan to wear his mask whilst he fights.
They're not just not Triple H, are they? They don't know how to use them.
No, Triple H has got a sledgehammer, and these are just like
Big old. I don't even know. What
Oh,
they are.
hail Triple H.
So overall, we're pretty much unanimous that we don't like it.
I'm
It's
alright
not, it's
with
not
it.
I don't
Something
like
new.
it. It's just I think the crowd needs to get behind it in order for it to work.
So what? Triple H man now. Twitter loves it.
Do they?
Yeah,
Big old bludgeons are over on Twitter.
yeah.
That wrestling Twitter.
The Bludgeon Bludgeon Brotherhood, we'll call them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really liking them. I was checking out everyone's tweets yesterday, and yeah, really liking them.
Okay, let's
yeah.
let's move on
Yeah.
to the man who 1.4 billion people tune into from India, and he is the modern day Maharaja. You know my
So many
opinion.
people tune into him that they had to cancel one show in India due to ticket sales.
Really?
Really?
Yep.
Well,
I think they're only doing one out there now instead of 2.
I'm just
Wow.
gonna start. I just
You love
don't
him,
like
don't
it.
you?
No, I just don't like it. I just think it's. I just don't like it. I just think it's
Why don't you
cringy.
like- oh.
It's just cringy, like, and his haircut does my head in. What is that?
His haircut?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and I just think it comes across really cringy. All the facial expressions and that. Don't get me wrong, his body's incredible now, and he's got a lot better. But just I just don't like it. I really don't like it.
What did you
I can't
think of
wait to-
him colossing the Singh brothers? What?
Oh, I just think that was just I don't know. I think they'll be friends again next week.
Yeah, but where if they're not though, then what do the Sim Brothers do? Where do they go?
That's what I'm saying. I don't care.
I
Straight
swear
back to
if-
NXT
yeah.
or 205 Live.
I really don't care.
We're going to be watching a few weeks of SmackDown with the Singh brothers 2-on-1 against Jinder.
Oh,
I don't think
man.
anyone wants to see
No,
that.
they don't.
But then, in all honesty, okay, where does Jinder go from here? Do you think he wins his title back?
No, mid card.
I think he will slide, and I think he'll slide very, very fast. I think
Yeah.
he's been at the top of the pile. It was an experiment. That's all it was, and it hasn't worked.
I think it's sort of worked. For the time that
the
it's gone on
Well,
for.
we clearly didn't, because the reason was they went over there to try and get the Indian market, and,
And it went
to cancel
down.
the show. They weren't doing it for any reason other than that. They weren't doing it for us. They're thinking, oh, he's a good wrestler. He'll have a great feud. They did it for that market, and that market has not bought into him.
They know they were being exploited. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This match versus Triple H is on the 9th of December,
Yeah,
I
in
believe.
India, isn't it?
In India, yeah. Obviously, I remember I think it might have been Bao and Dom that said, Jinder's going to win the title back in India there.
Yeah,
and
it's not happening.
Yeah.
No, not happening.
They've seen some sense.
Yeah, I think it all kind of points the arrow towards Jinder just hasn't been able to get over that market, which doesn't help when you push him as a heel, because I don't get how a heel in America will then be a face in India, because he's still saying he hates Americans, and that's still prejudice.
There's only one Indian superstar that can make it in India, and that is the Great Khali.
I thought you were going to say me.
Did you realise he's
I thought he was going to say
he's,
you as
did
well.
you realise he's like a god in India?
Yeah, I thought
If he walks down the street, people know who he is.
Yeah. I'm not that arse, but I'm not born in India. So anyway, let's move on to one of my favourite wrestlers, AJ versus the Singh brothers. I do like the Singh brothers as people, but I just don't like the whole gimmick. Yeah. What did you guys think of that?
Well, that Styles clash.
that
I
was
like
insane.
that.
Yeah, he apparently has done it before in TNA, but I'd never seen it.
That had a lot of scope to go wrong.
Yeah, that could have gone very wrong, but that was amazing. I thought it was amazing.
That was all I have to say about that, really. Honestly, I just think it's just very boring. I'm just not excited by it, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, I respect the fact that the Singh brothers are willing to take bumps, like the Randy Orton thing in the cage in the Punjabi prison. Like
I think they
put
have
their
to
bodies
take
on.
bumps. They're never gonna.
But you got to respect that. Would you do it?
Well,
For the money
probably,
they're on, yeah.
All right, Jake.
I think it just shows how good AJ Styles is to get a half decent, entertaining match against the Singh brothers.
Yeah.
I think he's the best in WWE right now by a very, very long way. And I think if he's not main eventing or at least having the title at Mania, then something is going very wrong.
Okay, right, Joe. Let me get your thoughts on the Riot Squad match versus Charlotte, Naomi, and Natalya.
Don't know what to say about it really, other than I quite like the fact that we've now got like a face Charlotte back again. Like it's just
vulnerable Charlotte.
Yeah.
Is Natalya a face now?
No.
She
walked
off, so she's
yeah,
definitely...
but she apparently they're doing it again next week, and she's in the team again.
I just think that them just attacking the whole of SmackDown it's like I'm just bored. Like it's not interesting. It's like Raw again. Like I'm not really buying into the whole storyline. I think like the Raw team, Ruby Riott, she pretty much controls. She's the only one who I'm half interested in this group of three. It's like Paige for the other one.
Do you even know their names?
Not a clue.
Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan.
There you go. Just
Yeah, I knew.
really don't care.
Well, Liv Morgan was a face, so it's quite weird to see her as a heel now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see.
Riot was a face.
Yeah,
as well.
Riot. That's what I was gonna say.
But she has the look of a heel, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think
she
like
suits
the
it.
black. And I think she will
Tattoos.
make a really good heel. I think she could be a very, very good addition to SmackDown Live.
I like like Paige and Ruby Riott. To me, are kind of
They're
similar,
very
and I like
similar,
the fact that they're the leaders of each group.
Yeah, I'm surprised to split them up, but I'm guessing that them two are the best on the mic. They're probably the best in-ring workers out of the whole six as well, so it's fair enough splitting them up. But it just creates like a mirrored effect from two brands, which are supposed to be different.
Yeah,
Did you not think that Liv Morgan and what's the other one?
Mandy Rose.
Yeah, yeah.
Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan, yeah,
Yeah.
were very, very poor on the mark as well.
Yeah, but then he built
They
up.
are,
Like
yeah.
Yeah, but it's just watching it. I don't know. I wasn't convinced by them again.
Yeah.
If they didn't like make SmackDown and Raw like Bill and both of these things come in the same way, we might be interested because
Yeah.
it's two different things.
Same time.
But you know
yeah.
you're going to get whatever happens on Raw is going to happen exactly the same on SmackDown. So what's the point watching?
Okay.
They
Well,
need a bit of difference.
I've just noticed Liv Morgan is like the Mandy Cage. You've got Sarah Logan, who's like the Sonya Deville, and then you've got the Pages that we write.
Yeah, they are. That's
very
what I'm saying.
similar.
That's like when they took that photo last week and they put them next to each other. You've got the blonde girl on the right. You've got the two in the middle that look exactly the same. It's
Kind
just
of.
exactly the same.
Then you've got the Enforcer, who's the bigger one, like the Sonya Deville.
Yeah,
she has
power.
genuine MMA background, and I don't think Sarah Logan has. But
she's
the biggest.
aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's most, I guess, the menacing is the word.
Right. Okay. Well, almost at the end. Does anyone want to touch on the Fashion Files? I will shamefully admit I didn't watch it.
Neither did
Shamefully
I. I don't
admit.
like.
I watched it. I actually like the Fashion Files.
Yeah, it's funny.
I like it.
How do you
But-
like it?
If you read my article earlier, go on to the solentchampionship.wordpress.com, you'll find out why I think that
Shameless plug.
yeah, it was a shameless plug.
Shameless
why Breezango should actually split up.
Oh,
If you go over there and look that up, I think, yep, it's the time. So
I
go
think
and see my thoughts on
you'd
that.
be breaking a lot of hearts there. I know a lot of people
which
love
is
them.
why it'd be a great turn.
Ah, great shout.
Are you saying Fandango turn on Breeze?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't give it too much away.
But, no, I'm not going to give too much away.
Teaser.
But yeah, that would make a jolly good feud.
Right,
a
guys.
lower card feud, obviously not for a title.
Are you ready?
I'm afraid I've got some
Joe knows.
bad news.
Joe knows what's coming. Okay, Joe.
I just don't want you to hit me with something like Roman Reigns. I know it's going to be.
It's
that.
time to defend the independent. Right, I thought I wasn't going to be that predictable, so I didn't go with Roman Reigns.
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't want to be predictable.
It's going to be Enzo.
No, it's not going to be Enzo. We've already had Enzo. Right, James Ellsworth.
Oh, for goodness'
You
sake.
do
James-
remind me of him.
You're
James-
going to ask me why.
James Ellie Ellsworth should come back to WWE, beat AJ Styles with one super kick, and defend the title, hold it till Mania, and beat Nakamura.
Well, there's a
defend
lot of things going on there. in 30
that.
seconds.
Okay then, Ellsworth comes back, wins the title, and holds it till Mania. 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
Bang.
Okay, James Ellsworth. He's just a beautiful man, really, isn't he? He made Carmella win the Money in the Bank, and that's just what's most important here. In terms of in-ring ability, I've never really seen him, so I can't really comment on that.
not going well.
Nakamura's really stale, so if you want him to beat him, then that's absolutely fantastic. He's really boring. AJ Styles probably one of the best in the business at the moment, but he hasn't got a brilliant. He's not got a neck. He does what he wants. So. In terms of, I just really don't know about Ellsworth. Why have I got this man? He's not even in WWE, so for that reason, I'm out.
That was
Right.
worse. That was worse than mine.
That is a
can I just
proper
say.
toss-up. You guys just flopped that big time. Dom, you've won.
I
Thank you.
think it's because
Thank you.
Dom smashed it first, and that threw me off. a bit.
No, because you just couldn't slander Brock because you love him so much.
As I
myth.
won, can I pose a question to them next week? Can I be the defend the indefensible guru? So then you
I like
three
that.
have to
I'm
do
sorry,
it.
but
like
there is no defending Ellsworth to come back.
Oh, there's no
Win the
there's
title.
no defending Jinder, but I still did
There's
it.
a bit more defending of that. Ellsworth's not even in the company anymore.
We'll decide the loser
He
at the
doesn't
end.
even wrestle, for God's sake.
We'll decide the loser at the end.
It's Joe.
Last thing. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton in a no disqualification match, which made no sense to ban Sami Zayn.
From ringside because it's no disqualification.
Yeah, just off. That's WWE logic. Right, go on, Jake.
I actually quite liked it. I thought it was alright. I didn't expect much from it.
What about
And-
Kevin Owens going over with the frog
Yeah,
splash?
okay, yeah, maybe the pop-up powerbomb after that would be a bit more believable. But it was the right decision in the end. Kevin Owens should definitely go over Randy Orton. So I'm not angry at the result.
Randy got in way too much offense early on, though. He literally steamrolled
Yeah.
her into the first 5 to 7 minutes of that match.
Joe?
Same old, really. I thought... I don't really even know what to say about it, to be honest.
What about Kevin Owens winning with a frog splash? I mean, that's kind of...
I didn't really care. The only thing that, like, Randy Orton needs to really find a place. Like, I just feel at the moment he's neither here nor there. I don't know if he's face or if he's heel or
He should 100% be
or
here.
what he is.
He needs to realise now, I'm not sure he does himself, but he needs to realise that it's his time to start putting people over.
Like,
he's got to that point now. Cena's done it a couple of times. He's done it for like Enzo and Cass. He put over KO when he first came up. It's time for Orton to do that because he won the Rumble this year. Like,
Yeah.
this year he won the Rumble.
That's such a stupid idea.
That's
Give
like-
it to Bray.
Yeah, he's been in. When did he come onto the scene? 2004, I think he came into WWE.
he's not the same big bad Randy Orton he ever like
if
he
he-
used to be.
If he
He's
didn't have the
not really
RKO, I think he'd be so...
that's why-
stale.
He's gone soft.
That's
I
why
think
it's
he
so
still
good.
is quite stale.
But that's why the RKO is so good because it literally pops out of nowhere, which is just good for unpredictability. If you get him losing a couple of times, he pulls off that move once, gets a win back. Everyone's gonna be like, "There he is, he's back."
Yeah.
But so he can eat losses now. It's time for Randy to move him across. I'm
quick
afraid.
question.
Move across where?
Well, move aside, step aside for
Oh.
new people come through. I would say like Bobby Roode or Shinsuke, but they're just as old as him.
Go on.
When was the last good Randy Orton match that you can remember? I mean, really good match.
Poor Randy, you're literally tearing into him. But
I actually
yeah.
don't know.
There's not. He's not. He's just not very good.
His
anymore.
feud he had with John Cena back in the day.
No, his match against Seth at 31, WrestleMania 31 was a good
It's
match.
very quick.
The ending
Yeah.
was just incredible.
Yeah, the RKO. I mean, yeah.
Then again, the RKO is the main.
Yep. So
Well, what did everyone think about? Obviously, it was meant to be that Sami Zayn was barred from ringside or whatever, but he still come out. so-
WWE logic.
It builds a storyline for Daniel Bryan Shoutout.
at least they acknowledged it because they said, "Oh, I'm banned from ringside. Doesn't mean I can't go to the ramp."
Yeah.
But at least they kind of realised what they were doing. So I was happy with that.
Okay, I think that's it. That is it. So thank you guys for joining in. If you made it this far in the podcast, thank you very much.
Then tweet us, let us know.
Yeah.
Tweet us at Solent WWE.
At WWE Solent,
Yeah, I got it wrong.
SOLENT.
Yeah, and just thank you very much. We'll be here probably the same. Yeah, we'll be here doing it on Wednesday in England, and so we'll upload it tonight.
Yeah, it'll be before NXT. Sit down, grab yourself a magazine, and stick us on the background for an hour and a half.
No. We
Who
don't want
reads
to be
magazines?
no background with magazine. The
Who-
magazine is the background. We're in
Name-
the forefront right here.
Name the
baby.
last magazine you've ever read.
Not too long. I read.
Jake.
I read a wrestling magazine, and I'm guessing Jake's was Playboy.
Mine was nuts.
You actually read Nuts?
No, I'm joking.
I did
Right,
actually
well,
buy
let's
that.
Mine was
do
probably
that.
442, but
And I quote, you know your damn role.
Hold on.
Still going.
Still going. Right, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining us, and make sure you join us again next week.
like you.